Performance and the drift. It's an interesting way of looking at it, isn't it? You can see things drifting along, you can feel them drifting along, and you allow it, don't you? And I think part of understanding the drift is to understand that you've got to be awake. There's no point me giving you this list of stuff that you can do, and I will give you a list of stuff you can do, so don't worry too much about making notes. But unless you're going to be awake, unless you're going to be ready to put the foot brake on and go, hang on a minute, no, I'm going to do something now, life ain't going to change. And it's over this space at home, you know, you've got have that same old conversation again and again with your partner or your kids or your friends or whatever, and you're like, ugh. Exactly. You come up with these little things. I'm making a book of stuff that you say. It's really good. Okay, so back to basics. This, I was saying, is a bit like coaching 101. In the BeCollaboration community, what do you want to be known for?
This is the one on your...
No, not yet. The next bit. So just basically, have you got that in your head? What do you want to be known for when you're here? You don't have to give me an answer yes or no now, but have a think about it. And what is it? So you might be known for a certain thing out there, but what do you want to, is it the same in BeCollaboration, or is it something slightly different? And do the other collaborators know this? What do you want to be known for? Do they know? I mean, is Beju just about on spirit, or is there something else going on that we need to know about? Just putting it out there, don't know. And how can you let them know? How can you let collaborators know what you want to be known for? And the one way to find out, for them to find out more about you, is for you to be visible and to have that in the forefront of your mind, what you want to be known for whilst you are being visible. So a quick brainstorm. What do you think you could do within BeCollaboration to be visible? Okay.
Write a blog.
Yes, for requests.
Well, for the website. Be active.
Have meetings before meetings.
Post on Facebook.
Yeah.
Be profiled in the quest.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Podcast.
Can I just say, when certain people joined in the very beginning, we didn't actually have any of this. I think Beju, when we first started, we just used to have like an introductory meeting and a conversation. So you couldn't be visible in the Genius slot, you couldn't be visible in the Quest, you definitely couldn't be visible in a podcast, possibly a blog, definitely didn't have Know and Be Known. None of that was started. So it was kind of going back to the old school stuff along the way. Okay, well that's a lot of things that you could be doing. Let's see if we found some of them. First things first. Are you on the frigging website? I am pointing fingers. If you are not, why not? How the hell can other people in the community find out about you unless your contact details are on there? So even if you've got your pretty picture up there, have you got all the contact details needed?
Yeah, because there's quite a few of them that have not been updated from the old, and so all it's got is the picture and the name and nothing else. So you can't contact them.
Exactly. And there's too many of those. So please, please, please go on to Kay's, go on the website, go on Collaborators, find Kay's, and that's all the things that you should have underneath your name. And her email address is there. So if you want to add anything to your name, you email to Kay, and she will get them up there. So make sure you're on the website.
Is this on a sheet you're giving us to need to make a note of this?
No. Yeah, it's all on the sheet. Okay, have you done a podcast? Lots of you haven't. We do it on a Friday. That's not a BeCollaboration meeting. It's in Hertford. Please come and see me. I will make a date if you haven't already done one. But it's a great way. And don't forget, you've got a video. When you're given the video of the podcast, you can do what you damn well like with it. Use social media the hell out of it and get known for what you want to be known for. Get it edited, get it tweeted, get it Facebooked, get it whatever you want to do with it. but take some action around that video rather than go, oh, thank you, that was lovely. We had a really nice conversation. It was great. Doesn't actually do anything. Have you written an article for the Quest? Some people have done more than one. Hurrah! Brilliant. Did you share it on social media? Did you tell anyone about it? Did you send it to your clients? Did you share anybody else's that is relevant to your business? Maybe somebody else has put an article on there that actually says a great deal about, and you could say, I agreed with this, what do you think? Share it, get it out there. Have you done a Know and Be Known? I think most people in the room have done a Know and Be Known. If you haven't done one for a long time, maybe time to do the second one. We've heard the beginning of your story. What about the next bit of your story? Attend a masterclass. Now you might think, oh, that's me just going to learn. But actually, if you're going to somebody's masterclass who shares the same market as you, you might be sitting there thinking, well, they're really good at that, but I don't like doing that bit, so maybe we could do something together. It's called collaborating, you know, that's what we do. So it's going to masterclasses is being in action. It's learning from other people, getting insights, fantastic, but then think about actually what could we do here?
It's also getting to know all of the people. It's not just the person who's running the masterclass. Even if you know them and you know their subject matter and you think, oh yeah, I've seen that in the Know and Be Known.
Yep.
You're with other people and you get to know them better and their feelings and so on and so forth. And you see things differently in a masterclass.
Well, you were talking about having one-to-ones and having meetings with people, but it's like a mini, because you get an hour with 5 other people plus the person holding the masterclass, and you get to know a little bit more about them. Somebody will say something.
People change, their lives change constantly. So where you might have heard them a couple of months before, when you hear them in conversation with the person taking the class.
Yeah. And Simon's been impacted by what you said at a masterclass. Had he not bothered to go? Had you not bothered to go? It's you know,
that's
it's
exactly the point. It's all the people. It's an experience, not just a being taught something.
yes. Have you done a core value? It's really a different experience standing here and getting the discussion going and taking what people say and pulling it together and translating it for them and putting it into the context of BeCollaboration. It's a bigger thing than just standing here going, yeah, I'll scribe. You yell and I'll scribe. That's not what it's about. So by having that core value, you're raising your profile constantly, again, letting people know by your comments what you're about and what you're going to be known for. Have you shared any updates? Have you done anything on social media? We get some people are really good at social media and some people are invisible. You know, and all we see is the odd like and it comes through. Well, you know, share some updates. Have you shared the events? Have you shared an event and invited somebody on Facebook, or have you just shared it and left it? What I find is much more powerful is if you share, you invite someone specific and say, I think you'd really enjoy this, you fancy coming along, I'm going to be there on this day. Again, the collaborator page, by you commenting on there, the other collaborators go, oh, I haven't met Nick before, I think I'd like to, you know. How many people said hello to you on that little, so you've responded, hurrah, thank you, I was a bit concerned, please Nick, respond, that would be fantastic. But he did, but how many people are invisible in that space? And that's a closed space that's, you know, private, but it's a safe space to be, to say what you want to say. And again, saying things, I think you do this quite well, Vanessa, saying things that are relevant to you and your business and what you're trying to achieve. So Facebook is a really great space. And the group that's the Journey of Possibility, BeCollaboration, we've got about 300 people on there at the moment. Again, by commenting on different threads, I mean, Carol does this perfectly. She's always talking about nutrition and the threads come up, so people have no doubt that that's her thing. She isn't going to be talking about, can I coach you on your business? She probably could do that, but she's going to be talking to you about nutrition and who you're being. Posted on the Journey of Possibility Facebook group, just said that. Shared posts and tweets by retweeting, sharing stuff. It's showing support for other people. And what happens is when somebody's retweeted your stuff, you're, oh, and you remember them. You remember them. I mean, Joe and I met about a year ago, maybe more. Yes, crazy. And then when he connected with me on LinkedIn, I'm like, oh, okay, that's who I remember. And it's kind of brought him back into this space. He's come all the way from Reading today. But it's by being awake and being conscious of the possibility, you don't know where it's going to take you, but you have to kind of take some action.
That's really true, actually, because Gavin Perrett, I love him. I just think he's so gorgeous, and he shared one of my On Spirit articles.
Yes.
But not only was I flattered and thanked him for it, but it also tells me a lot about him.
Yes.
When he will say, makes a comment, you then go, right, so even
he
though that's
connects
not
with
his
it.
bag, it's in who he is as a person, he gets that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I think that's how I
Sharing.
met you, wasn't it? I think I read your blog on Beju's on Spirit, and I was like, this is amazing. And I messaged you because it was so good. I'm sure I did. And then we ended up phoning.
Oh, a couple of months ago?
Yeah, a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
It was something like that, but it was all to do with just being present, just being out there into the
Like for
community.
your business.
Yeah. But sharing is a very fun thing.
Yeah, it is, and it's just, again, it's another way of being visible. The more visible you are in any small way,
It's very giving as well by sharing. I was singing about something. I've taken some pictures of the masterclass because I want to, everybody intently listening to it sings about him,
Yeah.
and comment about what resonated about what he said, all that kind of thing. And it's
perfect.
sometimes it's easier for us to sing about other people and share other people's stuff.
Yep.
In a way of highlighting what you're trying to get across as well.
Yeah. So another.
Can I add something as well, please? If we revert back to the drift, if you're doing what you normally do and you're not visible and no one knows where you are and who you are and what you're about, making those actions are actions inside of the possibility as opposed to doing the normal same old, same old. And doing those things, if you did one of those every month, which is not really a huge amount of work, if it's what you're about, you'd be talking about these things all the time anyway. You know, your view on health and vitality and fitness, your view, it's propagating the message you already say you're about. So it's giving it that channel to reach further.
Definitely. Another one I've literally just thought of here is we had this book, Scott went out and bought the book for us when we had the book launch. So lots of people's comments about the interview and the book launch here. And Erkan and I carried it on because it's such a beautiful book. We love the butterfly, symbolic, transformational stance. And we took it into the journey of possibility. So everyone that's done a podcast has written a lovely thing about their experience and what it meant to them. And I thought, well, why don't we have it at meetings so that if you've had an epiphany or something that's been quite profound for you, maybe write it down here. One, you're visible to everybody else that comes and looks at the book, and two, we can take that and we can put that onto the website, testimonials, all sorts of things. So we have our butterfly book that's going to be available now over there. If you want to, at any point, just come along and have a little scribe in there and say something, talk about the drift. Perfect. This is a big one. If you've brought a guest, are you bringing a guest because we've asked you to bring a guest? Or are you bringing a guest because actually it's going to make you look awesome? On two levels. So, for example, if you had a prospect that you were getting closer and closer to, but it wasn't quite happening, why don't you just invite them to BeCollaboration? Do you think they'd have a lovely afternoon? Do you think they'd learn something? Do you think they'd be around some great people? Do you think the great people in the room would big you up slightly? Oh, who invited you? Oh, Vanessa invited me. Oh, Vanessa, she's amazing. I love that girl. What she does, brilliant. But I can only talk about you if I know what you want to be known for. So again, if everyone knows what you're going to be known for, everyone's going to be saying how amazing you are. So that prospect is that one step, two steps closer to becoming a client. So why would you not want to invite someone, or even invite a client to keep on really good relationship with them, to keep it going? Nobody in the room is going to steal a client from you because we don't do that at BeCollaboration. But bringing a guest makes you look great. Oh, wrong door. It makes you look great, and the other collaborators are going to know that you've actually brought someone to the meeting. It adds a new dimension when we've got guests in the room. It's a lovely thing because you're seeing things from a different perspective to how we can all get very comfortable in our little fur-lined rut and go, oh, it's BeCollaboration, this is how we are. And you guys can come along and go, what the hell did they do that for? And say it, and then we're like, that's a really good point. We hadn't thought about that. That's brilliant. It's always good to have new people in the mix. So think about, when was the last time you brought a guest, and who could you bring? So on every seat, you've got these postcards. Now I think the easiest way is to give these postcards to someone, and if somebody reads the poem on the back, The Invitation, by Oriah Mountain Dreamer, and they go, oh, that's lovely. They should be coming to BeCollaboration because it means a lot to us, and if it means something to them.
There's a copy on the website.
If you run out, there's a copy on the website. I'd suggest that if you think of who you could invite, write their name at the top and then make sure you either post it to them or give it to them as a personal invitation and bring someone next month. There are always these cards on the table if you need more. Take them away. But you're connecting up with people that are like-hearted, so definitely bring a guest.
Can I just make a comment on bringing a guest?
Yes.
I think that if you love BeCollaboration, it's worked for you, it's transforming your life why would you not share that with somebody else? It's a question that is so obvious that people don't ask it of themselves. Why wouldn't you do it? It's crazy. I mean, I thought about 6 or 7 people that have joined, and you know, I would share this with everybody I know. I really would, and I think everyone else should as well.
You even shared it at a boxing game, didn't you?
Yeah. I did.
With Mitch in backup.
Yeah.
Okay, and having a one-to-one. Having one-to-ones is not just about going for coffee and having a nice chat with someone. There is a system behind it. If you want to find the system out, come and talk to me. Because you've got to be proactive and productive if you want to stop the drift. You can't just have a nice cup of coffee. Because I've done that a million times and you walk away going, oh, we might do some business together. That would be great. And nothing comes of it. You've got to actually take some action and have some accountability. That is just the gist. So I'm going to give you one of those and hand those round. So basically, what you think about when you come to BeCollaborate, how can I be visible? What have I done today or this week that I can be visible in BeCollaboration? And as I'm being visible, what message am I giving? What do I want to be known for? And is that message out there? And as we always say, it's about turning up. If you're here, you can do something, but you have to be present throughout the month as well. You can't just come to a meeting and spend 3 hours. It is about doing all the other things that are around as well. So this is basically what I've just handed out. The thing about going and doing all of these things is, first and foremost, think about what you can do for the other person. So we've talked about what are you known for. Find out what other people are known for. So don't just be, oh, this is what I'm known for. It's about giving. What can you give? It's karma. We know all about this. So do the collaborators know this? Have a look at what they're not. If you can't find out what they're known for, tell them. And then once you do know, see if you can share some of their stuff. Maybe go onto their Facebook page. Maybe find out what the articles they've written and share. Are you on the website? Well, then check. Are the people on the website? Maybe they need a nudge. Maybe they need to be supported and helped. Have you done a podcast? Okay, if you haven't done one, go and have a look at somebody else's podcast and share it. Make a comment on it. Tell them you thought it was a great podcast. Tell them this was the bit that you liked. It's really lovely when somebody acknowledges and they've actually spent time and watched it, or just listened to it. Even if you can't sit there and watch it for an hour, have a listen in the background. I quite often find when I'm doing just quick emails, you can have it going in the background. So what can you give to somebody else who's gone and done a podcast? Again, if you're going to write for the Quest, let go and share somebody else's article. Somebody has spent a long time writing an article, and if it resonates with you, make sure you can share it with people, connect it up with other people, make sure that somebody who goes, oh, I love that, Fred's going to love that as well, I'm going to send it over to him and I'm going to connect the two people up. Being connected to people that are relevant to you and relevant to your business and relevant to what you're known for is half the battle. So I've just put a few in red. But basically you get the idea that whatever you can do for yourself, you need to help other people do it for them as well. So I've just called out Carol because she hasn't got a connection on the website. So, now, this time next month, if I ask her, she's going to go, yeah, I've done it. It's all sorted. And she's got a wealth of information to share and to give. So she needs to have that information up there because we all need it. If you haven't had a one-to-one with Carol, you should be booking one pretty soon because she needs to share all of her wonderful value. Okay. You have to know this stuff. What do you want from people? What's your proposition? What are you going to offer them? Understand your market. Who's going to be buying stuff from you? If you don't know your market, how can we do it for you? How can we share your stuff? So we need to know what your proposition is. So when you're having a one-to-one, tell people how much you charge. Tell people what products you have. Tell them how they can share what you do. Know who your ideal client is. And when I say your ideal client, I don't want a demographic. I don't want between 35 and 45, female, nothing. It doesn't. What I'm asking you to think about is specifically who would you love to work with. So I said this to Chris Sherlock the other week, and he rattled off 3 people, Dyson and Warren Buffett and Bono. And I said, sorry, Bill Gates, beg your pardon. And I said, ask for it, you never know. And he was like, yeah, right. I said, just do it, ask. So at the London meeting, he asked, and somebody put the hand up. And it was Carol, she knows a lot of people. And she went, yeah, I'm like, my cousin with Bono, it's like, blimey. You don't ask, you don't get. So if you really want to, but don't ask if you don't mean it. I remember one guy asked for a referral in BNI, and we always harken back to my BNI days, and he said there's these little referral slips, and he was a printer, and he said, I'd really love that referral. He said, I want to print BNI's referral slips. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so I asked, can he do it? And the guy that owned the region, the franchise region, went, yeah, ask him how much he charges for 5 million.
They'll be happy nowadays, they just start away with them.
Well, yeah, exactly. But he couldn't fulfil on that. He couldn't fulfil. So why ask? You know, you don't be careful what you wish for, is what I'm saying. So if you want to work with Richard Branson, we need to know why. We need to specifically understand it. And you won't understand it unless you've got your proposition clear, you understand your market and know who your ideal client is. But specifically, so think about being specific. And when I say specific, if you want to work with accountants in Hertford, give it a Google. Find an accountant, find a company, find the director, find the partner, whoever it is, and ask for that name in this room. There are Hertford people in this room, they will probably know them. That's a lovely, nice introduction to get you some business. There is nothing wrong with asking for referrals in this space. We're just connecting you up with people that we know, but we're not connecting up any person because we've already done our due diligence on most of you lot and we love you. So therefore, I would happily recommend Kay to anybody, and I have done on various occasions, because I know she's damn good at what she does. So it's very easy. So, you know, you tell me who your ideal client is and I'm the first person to see if I can find them for you. Know who would benefit from your services. It's not just I want to work with, but who's really going to benefit? Who's going to, you know. So if you're a web designer, find us a really rubbish website and tell us, I want to work with that person because I know I can do this and this and this and this for them. In the BeCollaboration community, all you've got to do is ask. We want to help. That's what we're here for. We want to make a difference. If I knew that I could pass a referral to somebody and they could say, woo, I've earned 26 grand out of you, Jill, thanks. Well, I've done that to somebody in the community, you know, just because they asked me and I was able to connect them up. It was brilliant.
And you know everyone.
But people don't ask me. This is what's really crazy. I mean, Gavin, bless him, he said to me the other day, you and I still haven't had a one-to-one, have we? We should do that. I went, sure, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to connect people up. So, ask specifically for your ideal client. Ask for joint ventures, always useful. Ask for support. Anytime you're not sure, that's what we're here for.
That's one thing I was going to say about the Facebook group. I'm in another really amazing community. And there's lots of requests for help in there. So it's like, I've got this client, they've got this, has anyone had that experience, what did you do, And we don't seem to do that in ours. And actually, you've got lots of people that could actually go, well, have you not? And even people that don't do what you do, they have a different perspective and could say, well, have you tried this, or what about that, or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely ask. So ask for shared workshops. The amount of people that do similar things, well, wouldn't 2 of you together in a workshop? You've only got to bring in half the amount of delegates. There's lots of possibles. Bundle up your products. If you've got a product and you can be somebody else, you know. I used to work with a guy who would bundle up my DVD and my book in with his CDs and with his book. And it was a fantastic bundle. I used to earn shed loads out of him. It's really, what can you do? What's possible? Have a think about it. Ask for referrals. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Oh, you know that great accountant, I'd love to be able to connect with him, you know, all sorts of things. Ask for anything, because you're allowed, in this community, you're allowed to ask. If you're waiting for someone to drop a client in your lap, you'll be waiting a very long time. The drift will carry on. You have to keep asking, but you have to get your ducks in a row first, so make sure you know all those things.
And actually, people like to help.
They do. They do. It's like giving presents.
Yeah.
People would much rather give a present than receive a present. And that's all we're asking, you know. Wonderful. And I think, unless there's any questions, it's time for tea. Anybody got any questions? Haha, yeah.
And as if by magic,
He
the
appears.
shopkeeper appears.
Okay.
So that was brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Urban.
And Erkan. Yay.